Hello. Hey, what's up? Man, you really look at some of these gears and you're like, man, that's pretty cool. I think they're cool, at least. I just kind of wish they'd have more types of gears, helical gears, spring gears, a lot of different types of gears. But they do have a lot of different types of parts. But when you really get into it and look at gears, there's probably a good I bet you there's a good 25 good different type of gears. Um, I'm sure, obviously, I know there's probably many, many hundreds of different types, but if you had about 25 different types of gears, needle gears, all that, you really could come up with a lot of different possibilities. But that's not what we're doing. Anyways, I'm Jason, and my daughter Ruby is studying her AP Calculus on limits, which we went over a little bit, but she's really getting a good grasp of what she's working on, and it's quite impressive. Um, I'm really impressed with what she does. So, where am I at? I thought I was going to be open this weekend, and I'm not. And I don't know why. It's like, why? Wait, okay, hold on. Look, you see the X's? X's mean it's in my inventory. Now you look, there's no X's over there. Not really any over there, but there's a couple over here. But at least there's something there. And I will tell you, I went through 2 scales this weekend, and gosh, they don't really work for the way I need it. And yeah, I went with one that was probably too cheap, and I went with another one that was just, it wasn't cheap, but it wasn't really meant for being able to count like a half a gram. So I have one order that's supposed to be in this Tuesday. Today's Sunday. So parts like this, I'm gonna just count out. But some of these parts, I've been getting into them, like these here. I can't sit there and count these. I mean, look at that. Some of the stuff jeez. I mean, come on. I don't know how long it would take me to count. Of course, I wouldn't really count them all. I'd probably just do like an estimate, fill up a small area, and then just multiply it. Give me a pretty good idea. But that's not what I'm doing. I just went in. Hopefully I got the scale coming in on Tuesday and it will work. And I can get back into a lot of things. But if you see over there, you're going to see some boxes over there as well. I was opening up some of these boxes, and one of these whole boxes were full of those, of all different types of pieces. And so those are all empty now, but I got a couple more over here that I found, but they're like parts, like, yeah. The first time I ever saw those was in a Minecraft set with the B set for a lot of the little window pieces like that. So just a whole bunch of different parts. But I did find also a lot of these parts, which some are pretty cool. Those in there, if I can focus in there, but these heads are really cool. If I can get look at that. Isn't that neat? I mean, I thought it was neat. And it's weird. I was looking at these. These are actually different than those. They look almost the same, and I thought they were, except they're just a little bit different. And seagulls, aren't those cool? Little boats. It looks familiar for some reason. I think one of the CMFs had those. Little blue birds, scrambled egg. So, anyways, that was nice. Found those. I remember seeing those about a year, maybe a year ago or 2 years ago. And I actually had those in one of those boxes I was telling you about. So I was trying to go through some things, and because of my scale not working, and I was like, okay, I'm going to just start counting stuff, the larger pieces, and I was moving the box, and I was like, what is this? But I'm pretty sure I normally have them labeled correctly. Not that I really have them labeled, but just with like the parts, what sets are in there. And I have up there, looks like, what's that? Oh yeah, I remember those. And that, yeah, it's weird. Actually, that set right over there is a Zelda, the Zelda set, which crazy. Hey, check that out. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Just a bunch of parts. So a lot of times what I'll do, hopefully I won't knock this on the floor, but so I will go through and order stuff through what's it called, lego.com, and I'll order a lot of the Lego stuff through them, their website. And sometimes it's just to see how are they shipping stuff, what are they doing. Man, they really are bad. I mean, this is just crap. If you take everything, just throw it all in one bag. I mean, do you realize how long it takes me to just get all the little pieces out there? I mean, it's the same thing with those. I was like, it's going to take me forever to get all that stuff out. So, very frustrating. I have to admit, it kind of really pissed me off. But I'll be honest, I haven't had time to call them either. I think I'm going to if I ever get time, because they should realize that that's not right. You can't do stuff like that. You see the dogs? Aren't those cool? I'm not sure what type of dog. It almost looks like a golden lab, isn't it? Is that a golden lab? Maybe, kind of. Those are cool. There's turquoise and the hot pink. Oh, those are the little Lego guys. So that looks like Hagrid's thing. And yeah, the mimes, those are cool. That's about it. Yeah, nothing else special there, but anyways, I'm so freaking tired. We had a volleyball thing yesterday. I think it was like, what, 8-9 hours. Let me see. We left here at 6:30 and got back at like 4:30. So yeah, 10 hours. It's just too much. All you parents out there, you have kids doing sports. Man, there's a part to me where, I mean, I guess I spent, time going to practices when I was in school too, but I just think nowadays it's so different. It's so much more intense, the time they spend with all these sports, and I don't know if it's really worth it. Very few of us actually go professional, but then again, nowadays a lot of people do go towards college to play. So if that's the scenario, yeah, it really does take a lot of practice. It just shows you how back ass we are in the US on how much time we spend on sports compared to academics. I mean, I know I'm a real prick sometimes about stuff, but look, my daughter's been in there. I really think I'm gonna go with a little bit before noon at least. I know she didn't get up until I went to church. It was 10:15, and she wasn't able to get up. So she said she was up. Whether what time she got started on her homework must have been around noon, most likely. But she's in there still working on homework, and I mean, you're talking a good 8 hours. You know, I'm sure she's taking a break, through the days and stuff. But 8 hours of homework is a lot on a Sunday. Now, yesterday it's sports, 8, 9 hours doing volleyball, and Friday it's school all day, practice, blah blah blah. But at least she's pushing herself to do both. Most people can't, and they take easier classes to be able to do their sports. I'd like to look. Go ahead, send me my message. Let me know if you're in high school and you're watching this, or you have kids in high school. I'm going to bet it's very low percentage of kids that are in sports are taking all AP classes in their high school period. Well, I don't care if you're in 10th grade, 11th grade, or 12th grade. I just doubt it. And a part of me, I'm kind of like, well, maybe you're a senior and you're taking AP calculus. It's like, well, you should have been taking it the year before so you could work on AP thesis or something, or stats or something, whatever. But at least they're doing it. It seems like I saw a lot of seniors are not taking advantage of this type of coursework that's offered, if it's offered in your school area. I moved here only because it was offered here. Otherwise, I was moving my ass somewhere else. You can actually find an apartment really reasonable anywhere in this country. So technically, I could move anywhere I want to and just make ends meet. Working a job on assembly line, and I know that's possible. So I've done it, and I know it's possible. Now I'm kind of turning the page into what I'm doing now, but I just want to see the end results. With your kids going off to college, whether they study medicine, law, engineering, education, sciences, marketing, business, anything out there. It's wonderful. But remember, there's 100,000 people graduating every year, and all those that I just mentioned. And out of those, there's only a few of them that really are graduating at the top of their class. And most likely, if you really look into it, you'll see in their past, they just didn't get there overnight or when they got to college. It takes a lot of years of prepping yourself to get to that point. So when you do get to college, you can handle it. And you can also do other things if you are in kind of sports. But I tell you, I don't know. In college, sports, is it even more intense? I'm guessing it is. But then I don't know, because how many games does a college play in volleyball? Okay, I guess that's right. Maybe I'm trying to understand. Maybe it's with a certain sports, because if I look at football, they play once a week, right? And not every week, and it's not all year. Gymnastics is a whole nother can of worms. I mean, anybody who does gymnastics, you're like to the extreme of dedication into a sport and what it takes to get to be at the top of that. But volleyball, I mean, I'm looking at the next 2 months schedule. They literally play almost every day of the week. Every once in a while, they'll be off one day. But other than that, it's game after game after game. And when they play football, it's a Friday night, high school. I'm saying not college, but it's Friday night, and it's about maybe 2 hours. It's probably maybe 2.5 hours for a football game. Volleyball can go on for like 6 hours, 5 hours, these games. They're not playing all the time, and guess what? They don't play all the time in football. So the scenario is, it's like almost like these eliminations or the best of three. I guess I'll look at it tennis. Tennis is like this too, right? Tennis, when I used to play in high school, I remember, we would play long sets, but it wasn't like the best out of 7. It was the best out of 3. And I assume they would still do that. Time constraints, right? So, but anyways, what's the real point? The point is just, you get out of college and you look at all the time that you spent playing a sport, and you think about what else could you have done with all that time. And I do see the benefits, though, with sportsmanship, camaraderie between you and your other players. So there's a lot of stuff like that. I understand. And maybe I don't quite always get the full grasp of the benefits, what it means. I guess sports for me, it didn't quite have the same significance. So, alrighty. Well, with the Legoland Bricklink, I will hopefully be up very, very soon. And as soon as I can, the better for me, better for everybody, better for my financial, of being able to pay rent, I guess. So, but no, all seriously, I'm really out there because I really want to be able to provide a great service to all you people that would be making purchases, but also hopefully bring people into this that can build with their kids. Whether you're just an individual builder or you're trying to build your own little set, there's something else out here that I think we're missing, of being able to build. Remember that set I was telling you about over there? That was the first set me and my daughter start working on, and we've built little mocks together throughout the years. And it was a lot of time that we had worked together on things and talked and did stuff as we clicked Lego bricks together. So I think with Bricklink, the more people get it, out there of what it is and the ease of use. It's not really ease of use, but getting used to it. How about that? Getting just used to it and being able to purchase small things to help maybe build something between you and your kids. Could be a lot of fun. Could be a lot of good possibilities out there. So, alrighty. Wish you all the best. Bye-bye.